World War II. Somewhere in the Pacific Theatre, battle is raging and the enemy's Air Force fleets are growing in strength. You, the heroic pilot in this classic game 1942, have been assigned to invade enemy airspace in an attempt to diminish their numbers. In a daring solo mission, your carrier will take your craft, Flight Eagle, to the edge of safe territory from where you must begin. The engine splutters into life. The 633 Squadron theme tune is rattling through your head and you're off, all alone. The idea is to fly your craft from carrier to carrier across land and sea, shooting down pretty much loads and loads of enemy planes on a whopping 24 stages of pure blasting action. At the start of each stage, you take off from your aircraft carrier and head for the enemy, and as the screen scrolls up, you are attacked by enemy planes which seem willing to die just to stop you. These guys don't mess around. Luckily, help is at hand in the mysterious POW capsules that are dropped by certain enemies. Collecting these gives your plane added features, such as an increase in firepower, and just might help get you through to the next carrier. On the first couple of levels, you are bestowed with an extra gun, allowing 3 bullets to be fired at once. But on later levels, you get 2 escort planes which fly on either side of you and help you battle on. You can also protect yourself for a short while by doing a roll, and while performing this roll, you temporarily evade the enemy's line of fire and can come out of the most dangerous situations unscathed. Unfortunately, these are limited to 3 rolls per life, of which you have 3 lives. The result is pure trigger-twitching action, based on a mixture of skill and reflexes, and it's pretty addictive gameplay to be fair. The amount of 10p's I'd go through playing this in the arcades was unreal, but I remember thinking that the graphics were really crisp, and the sprites were superbly animated on the coin-op. There was always the temptation to pick off just one more enemy, with the result usually being me making an error or becoming too greedy and ending up buried in a ball of flame. I also found that the gimmick mentioned earlier with the plane rolling was an excellent feature, even more so in the arcade version. Once again, for the Commodore 64, this is performed by once again tapping the spacebar with my big size 11s, or maybe probably more like size 4s back in 1986. I suppose with all the experience I'd already gained being the chief grenade thrower on Commodore, I didn't mind the spacebar tapping parts in games, and was well used to this by now. Individual formation is pretty easy to take out, but the problems add up when you're swamped with 3 or 4 formations each swirling around you in different patterns. Particularly nasty ones suddenly appear behind you, or dive in from the side. So the rolling ability comes in handy sometimes, especially as the enemy fighters are sometimes joined by bombers, which take several shots to destroy and will fire a hail of bullets at you from the rear gunner. At the end of each stage, the next carrier appears, and a bonus is awarded depending on your kill percentage, and then you'd move on to the next area, which sometimes had names like Marshall, Attu, Midway, and the graphics for each stage are clear and colourful, but admittedly very repetitive. Apart from the odd 1 or 2 volcano craters and green stretches of land, it's just mainly sea you're flying over. But I didn't mind that, because sometimes in games the scenery is so busy that the enemies are harder to see, which isn't the case in this game. All in all, 1942 is a blast, and can arguably be called a classic style shooter that delivers the kind of solid gameplay fans of the genre will find well polished. There's none of the flashy but useless over-the-top power-ups here either, apart from the 2 mentioned earlier. Just endless, frenetic blasting. Get it fired up on your Commodore 64 and definitely play it if you ever see it in the arcades. Thanks for watching guys, another classic shoot 'em up covered, but what did you think of 1942? Was you an addict in the arcades like myself, and did you also own it for the Commodore 64? Hit the like button if you enjoyed the video and let me know your thoughts and memories of this game in the comment section. As always, I'd just like to ask that if you're enjoying the nostalgia that these games bring, then maybe consider subscribing to the channel, where we'll be revisiting even more Commodore 64 and Amiga games daily, with plenty more on the channel playlists and more coming next. It'd be great for you to join me on this epic journey. Hopefully, I'll see you all in the next one. Until then,